I didn't used to have trouble sleeping. I was the kind of person who could fall asleep anywhere on a couch, in a chair, even with noise around me, it never mattered. Sleep was simple, automatic, something I didn't have to think about. But a few weeks ago, something changed. At first, it was so small I almost ignored it. I would wake up in the middle of the night for no reason. No sound, no dream, no clear thought pulling me out of sleep, just awake, staring into the dark, with this strange feeling that something wasn't right. Not fear. Not exactly. It felt more like I had missed something, like something had already happened, and I was late to notice it. I started picking up on little things. My blanket would be slightly pulled down, even though I always wrapped it tightly before I slept. My phone would be in a different position than I remembered leaving it. My bedroom door would be just barely open, even though I always made sure it was fully closed before going to bed. At first, I explained it away: sleep movement, restlessness. Maybe I had started sleepwalking without realizing it. People do that. It's not unusual, that's what I told myself until the night I woke up, standing. I don't know how long I had been like that, but I was in the middle of my room, facing the wall, completely still. The moment I became aware, it felt like my body snapped back into place. My heart started racing. I stumbled backward, disoriented, trying to understand how I got there. I checked the time, 3:12 a.m. No memory of getting out of bed, no memory of walking, nothing between lying down and standing there, and somehow that was worse than anything else, because it meant I couldn't trust what was happening. While I slept the next day, I ordered a camera, nothing fancy, just a small one with night vision. I set it up on a shelf across from my bed. I told myself it was just to confirm what I already suspected, that I was sleepwalking, that there was a simple explanation. That night, nothing happened. The footage showed me sleeping normally, barely moving, just breathing slowly. Like always, the second night was the same, quiet, uneventful. I almost felt embarrassed for worrying until the third night. That morning, something felt off. Not panic, not fear, just this quiet, heavy urge to check the footage. Like something inside me already knew. I sat down and started watching it. Began normally. I got into bed, turned off the light, pulled the blanket up, lay still. Hours passed. Nothing. Then, at exactly 2:17 a.m., it happened. One moment, I was lying down. The next, I was sitting upright, not slowly, not like someone. Waking up instantly, like a switch had been flipped. I rewound it, watched again, same thing. No transition, no movement, just still to sitting, my head tilted slightly to the side, like I was listening to something. I stayed like that for almost a full minute, not blinking, not moving, just frozen. And then slowly, I turned my head toward the camera. I don't know how to explain what I saw, because it was me, but it didn't feel like me. My face was blank too. Blank, like there was nothing behind it, no thought, no awareness, just emptiness. And then I noticed something that made my stomach drop. I was smiling. Not a normal smile, not subtle, not natural. It was wide, too wide, held in place like it didn't belong to a real expression, like it had been put there, and it didn't change. It just stayed there, while I stared directly into the camera. After a few seconds, I stood up, slowly, carefully, like I didn't want to make a sound. Then I walked out of frame. The door was already slightly open. The camera kept recording nothing but darkness for almost 2 hours, until 4:06 a.m., when I walked back in. Same slow steps, same stillness. I climbed into bed, pulled the blanket over myself, lay down perfectly, like nothing had happened. I watched that part over and over again, trying to understand it. But something felt incomplete, because the camera only showed my room. It didn't show where I went, and that's when the fear started to settle in, because whatever was happening wasn't just inside my room that night. I tried to stay awake. Coffee lights on, background noise, anything to keep myself from drifting off, but eventually my body gave in. When I woke up, the first thing I did was check the footage. 2:17 a.m. Again, I sat up instantly, just like before, but this time, something was different. It took me a moment to notice it because it wasn't obvious at first. But then I saw it in the corner of the room behind me. Something tall, completely still. At first I thought it was a shadow. Something caused by the lighting, but shadows don't hold shape like that. They don't stay that solid. And this thing didn't move, didn't shift, didn't react. It just stood there watching, and I didn't acknowledge it. Not once. Not when I sat up, not when I turned toward the camera, not even when I smiled. It was like I already knew it was there, like it didn't need to be acknowledged because it wasn't new. I rewound the footage, watched again, and this time I noticed something worse when I stood up. It moved. Not walking, not stepping, just adjusting like it was following me, but always keeping the same distance, always behind me. Always just out of reach that night, I moved the camera, angled it toward the door. If I was leaving the room, I wanted to see where I was going. I didn't sleep easily, but eventually I did. The next morning, I didn't hesitate. I went straight to the footage, 2:17 a.m. There, I was again sitting up instantly, but this time I didn't look at the camera. I looked at the door slowly, deliberately, like I was waiting for something. Then I stood up, walked toward it, stopped right in front of it, and waited for a few seconds. Nothing happened. Then the door opened. Not by me before I even touched it. Just slightly, like something on the other side was letting me out. I paused. The video, zoomed in the hallway beyond, was dark. But it wasn't empty. Something was standing there waiting. I kept watching even though I didn't want to, even though something in me was already telling me to stop. I stepped forward, passed through the doorway, and disappeared into the dark. The door began to close slowly, quietly, but just before it shut completely, I saw it. A hand, not mine, resting on the edge of the door, holding it gently like it didn't want it to slam, like it was careful, like it had done this before. I couldn't finish the video. I turned it off, sat there in silence, trying to convince myself it wasn't real, that there was an explanation, that there had to be. That night, I didn't set up the camera. I didn't want proof anymore, but it didn't matter because now I didn't need it. I still wake up sometimes at exactly 2:17 a.m., and I can feel it standing there in the corner of the room, waiting, not moving, not breathing, just there. Sometimes I keep my eyes closed, pretending I'm still asleep because I don't want to see it. I don't want to confirm what I already know, but other times I hear something right outside my door, a soft sound almost like breathing or whispering, and then a voice, quiet, patient, almost familiar, telling me to go back to sleep. And the worst part is, it's getting harder to resist every night. I feel more tired, more drained, like something is slowly taking something from me. Not all at once, but piece by piece. And sometimes when I wake up, I don't feel like I've been asleep. I feel like I've been somewhere else, standing, watching, waiting last night. I checked the camera again, even though I promised myself I wouldn't, 2:17 a.m. But this time I wasn't in bed. I was already standing in the hallway facing the camera, smiling, and inside my room under my blanket, something else was lying there, breathing slowly like it belonged there.